Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, I was gonna cover this story yesterday and didn't have time to get to it. Now this right here is a story that's just strange as can be, but I mean, I think it's not that. It's a murder mystery, but it's not that mysterious if you ask me. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you my honest opinion, and you'll understand why I said that phrase. You see this young man up here? This young man is a 15-year-old boy out of Detroit, Michigan. Shout out Detroit. And his name is Lawrence Dow. And he was found dead Thursday in a cemetery. And if that's not bad enough, he was last seen with a friend on Tuesday when he was he'd been missing since Tuesday. He was last seen being picked up by a friend, and that was the last anybody heard of him before he was found in this cemetery. Now, that's strange, but what's even stranger was the way he was found, you know, as far as, you know, what he was wearing, and how police don't have any leads or anybody in custody right now. Now, I know a lot of people are hurting, you know, out there in Detroit that love this young man and cared for him. But I'm going to play you this series of videos, and I got a lot of questions with this.
Good morning, and thanks for being with us on this Friday. I'm Amy Lang. A family in mourning as Detroit police work to find out what happened to a teen discovered dead at a cemetery on the city's west side. DPD not sharing a lot of details right now, but they will confirm this search for a missing person is now a murder investigation. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch joins us live with the very latest. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Amy. I did check in with Detroit police just a couple of minutes ago to see if there are any updates on this, and they tell me that they are not releasing any new information at this time. As you can imagine, though, just a very difficult time for the family of this 15-year-old who is just trying to understand these latest developments and life without him.
If somebody seen my nephew walking at anybody's house, in the store, I know these people will call us. So I feel like my baby is hurt somewhere. Let us find him.
Sadly, police did find 15-year-old Lawrence Dowell here at the Mount Hazel Cemetery in Losser near 7 Mile on the city's west side Thursday night, just hours after his worried family members spoke with us. The crime scene tape still draped across the driveway, hinting at the gruesome discovery.
The run was called in by a citizen who was in the cemetery visiting a loved one. The individual who contacted the Detroit Police Department indicated that there was someone deceased inside of the cemetery.
That cemetery about 2.5 miles from where Dowell lived. The 15-year-old was last seen around 11 o'clock on Tuesday night when, according to his aunt, he was left close to Pembroke and Stansbury. That is where she and others who knew him combed a nearby park for much of the day looking for any sign of the teen.
We were told by a friend, or supposed to be a friend, the person who was driving the car, that they dropped him and another boy off in this area, and that they took off walking.
Right now, police are working to figure out how Dowell ended up at the Mount Hazel Cemetery, while the Wayne County Medical Examiner is working to determine how he died. We are told the teen did not have a cell phone on him at the time of his disappearance, but was wearing this when he was found.
The individual who we located inside of the cemetery was wearing gloves and what we believe to be some kind of ski mask.
Obviously, a lot of questions concerning what happened to Dowell and what he may have been doing leading up to his death. His family just devastated by the latest turn of events. In this interview yesterday, they shared some of their memories.
He a good boy. He out here. He love his family, his sisters. He really be at home. We're family oriented.
Now, I did talk to the family just a short time ago over the phone, and they, of course, are just trying to process this all. Again, Detroit police, they are calling this a murder investigation. They tell me that nobody is in custody at this time. Of course, if anything changes, if we get any information about a cause of death, we'll be sure to pass it along to you, both on air as well as online. We are live here on Detroit's west side. I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
But we begin tonight with a family demanding answers in the death of their teenaged loved one. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duffy.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. We appreciate you joining us today. The boy's remains were found at Mount Hazel Cemetery on Losser, just south of 7 Mile last night, not far from his last known whereabouts.
7 News Detroit's Randy Wimbley caught up with the teen's family as they come to terms with a jarring loss.
The investigation into the disappearance and murder of Lawrence Dowell is well underway. His family is devastated and desperate for answers. They were getting ready for him to start his sophomore year at Henry Ford High School in Detroit. Now they're planning his funeral.
I would just say why. Because he ain't done nothing to nobody to the point where they gotta do him like that. Not at all.
Nakia Coles may not get an answer anytime soon. Her younger brother, 15-year-old Lawrence Dowell, was murdered earlier this week.
It's devastating. It's unreal. And I'm talking about, this is my everyday person. Every day. This is my little brother. I raised him too. I'm his second mama.
Dowell's family reported him missing on Wednesday. He was last seen on the 19900 block of Salem on the city's west side Tuesday night, when his sister says one of his friends, who's about 22 years old, picked him up to go to the store.
That night, we was a little worried, but at the same time, we're like, okay, he'll be back. He told us he was going to the store with a friend, someone that he trusted.
But Dowell never made it home. Police discovered Dowell's body about a mile away from where he was last seen at the Mount Hazel Cemetery Thursday evening. Investigators say he was wearing a ski mask and gloves when officers found him. His family is unclear why. Thursday's grim discovery, another artifact of a dark summer in Detroit in which violence has touched or snuffed out the lives of several young people.
That should really shock us, and that should really, we should want to do more.
Tisa Knight is the executive director of Caught Up, a nonprofit that reaches, mentors, and launches at-risk boys in Detroit. What's been the key for you in working with young men?
A relationship and the consistency. These kids are looking for father figures. They're looking for mentors to be a part of their life on a consistent basis.
In the meantime, if you have any information about what happened to Lawrence Dowell, please call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
The family in shock, their worst fears confirmed. 15-year-old Lawrence Dowell found dead in a Detroit cemetery.
Right now, police are investigating his death as a homicide. Fox News' Camille Amiri has been on this story since the teen disappeared. And Camille, now that the identity has been revealed, do we know more about how he died?
Well, I mean, this is just such a tragic story all around. Another tragic loss of life in Detroit. I want you to take a look at Lawrence's picture. Lawrence Dowell, 15 years old. Of course, we were telling everybody about this yesterday at 5 o'clock when he was missing. So here's what we know. So yesterday afternoon, police were in the area of Stahalin and Pembroke in a wooded area. They were searching for him. He'd been missing for 2 days. He had left his cell phone at home, so there was no way to ping him. And an acquaintance or a quote-unquote friend had said that he had dropped him off in that area. Family and police doing their own searches, and they couldn't find anything yesterday afternoon. So that was some good news, right? Well, then last night, they found a body who they later determined was Lawrence Dowell, 15 years old, at a cemetery at Losser and 7 Mile in that area. A loved one visiting their family member, actually random person visiting their family member at a gravesite, happened to stumble upon his body, later identified as the missing 15-year-old who'd been missing since Tuesday. So fast forward to Thursday night is when he was found and identified by police. Police back out on the scene this morning. Michigan State Police, Detroit Police looking for more evidence in the area where the body was found. Now, we did talk to a woman who lives near the cemetery, and then we also talked to Lawrence Dowell's aunt. Take a listen.
We noticed a lot of police activity pulling up over here, and I come outside and noticed that they done taped everything off, and we got word like maybe 3 or 4 minutes that it was a body over in the cemetery, a young man, and it blew my mind. I was shocked, like, wow.
I'm just in disbelief, that's my baby, man, real close. Man, it's me and my sister. My mom only had, us two. We always grew up like this, like My son and him is best friends. It's my son's birthday today. It's got to be the worst day of my son's life.
Now, one of the things that came out in the press conference last night was the fact that police said that Dowell was found wearing a ski mask and gloves. The aunt had something to say about that revelation. Take a listen.
I don't even think that should even been put there. We don't even know if that's what he had on. We don't even know how true that is. And if he did have on a ski mask and gloves, he 15. It don't matter. Right now, nobody had no value for life.
Now, as far as the significance of that cemetery, the aunt says that he went to school nearby that cemetery. Also, it's not far from where family members live. It's also not far from that initial area where they were looking. But as far as a motive, as far as who did this, police still trying to figure that all out. Reporting.
Yeah, you're just 15 years old. Camille, what about family? Sometimes they have, an instinct or some sort of intel about what may have happened. Have they, given you any details about any possibilities?
Well, I mean, they're really holding everything close to the vest here, and obviously they're working with police investigating this, not wanting to disclose anything that could hurt the investigation, but saying that they want to get to the bottom of this. They had offered a $1,500 reward for whereabouts, where he was, for anything. And of course, now their worst fears confirmed. So we're going to have to wait and see. But again, a very open investigation right now.
Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, before I get into this, prayers and condolences do go to the families that cares about this young man. May he rest in peace. And it's a sad thing. But I got to be honest. You know how we are on this channel. Got to be honest. This shit is bullshit to me. It is. First thing is first. This. What the fuck is a 15-year-old boy dealing with a 22-year-old boy? You graduate when you're in high school at 18. So this guy been in the world for 4 years. And you befriending a 15-year-old who's on board with that shit. That ain't no friend. That's like a mentor or somebody you look up to. And come on. That don't even sound right. Would a lot of y'all have your son or daughter hanging with a 22-year-old as a friend? Don't make no sense to me. And like I said, prayers and condolences do go out to these people because a dead child is nothing to laugh at, and it's a serious thing. And this kids getting killed at young ages, it's a serious thing. But it's a lot of answers here and a lot of stuff that don't make sense. And I'm going to show you how smart the media is. Media, these people get in front of these cameras, and the media asks certain questions, and it gives you a little bit about the character of the people that was around this boy, and a little bit about how he might have been raised or how much freedom he had. So when you think about it, said 11:30 at night, he's 15 years old and he out in the street with a 22-year-old friend. That's a grown-ass man. That's, permitted to be out in the street. Nothing good seemed like it would come from that. It don't. And yeah, you got people crying and stuff. You hear from a lot of people, but you don't hear from his mom and dad. Where are they at? You know what I'm saying? You hearing from a bunch of aunts, oh, we raised them, this and that. I understand people have situations where other people do raise them and they can turn out right. And I'm not saying these people were bad. But the thing is this, it's a lot of factors. Factor number one is this, especially with a boy. You don't know, they can be one way in the house, but one way in the street. When a boy is a teenager, he does what? One of the things they do, we seek out leadership. This is why fathers are important. When boys are in their teens, a lot of stuff they're taught, resisting temptation, peer pressure, influence, all this other type of stuff, that's taught by a father. Or that's taught by the man that's in their life. He had a lot of freedom. I believe he had a lot. I believe he had a lot of freedom, and it cost him big. So you can be a kid and think you smart as you want, bulletproof, whatever. But if somebody's 22 years old and around you, or you hanging with people that are older than you, right? You could be subject to be put through anything. You know what I'm saying? Even a crash test dummy at times. Now, I don't know what happened, but this shit is fishy. Let's go to the elephant in the room. He found dead in the cemetery with a ski mask on and gloves. See the family? Look how the media play them. They ask questions on a certain type of angle. What the aunt say? The one that was talking the most. It don't matter. It don't matter. I don't even know. That's what they saying. Who would have to lie about that? He was found with a ski mask and gloves on. It don't matter. Then the part that blew my mind, she said, it don't matter what he had on. He's 15, and it's no regard for human life. You got a ski mask on and gloves in the summertime, and you found dead in the cemetery. Like somebody just dropped you off there. What does that sound like to you? To the average person, it sounded like he was going on a mission or something. Things went awry. Either he got hurt and they just dumped him there because they didn't want to answer the questions, or whoever he was with did something to him and he out there. That's what the normal person would think. This whole thing right here is crazy as hell. It's crazy. And you know, a lot of people do love people when they think they got going to do the right thing out there in the streets, but you don't know what that temptation that's drawing on them and pulling on them, having them do. They ain't got nobody in custody. They said they interviewed the people he was supposed to be with, and they said they dropped them off near the cemetery, near that spot or around that spot. Why would you pick up at 22 years old, pick up a boy from his house? And here's another thing, why his cell phone ain't with him? Was he told to leave his cell phone home? Kids don't go nowhere without their phone. Hell, when you in a car with a teenager, first thing they do is pull out the phone so they can just do something while they enjoying the ride. Don't bring your phone. That right there sounds funny right there to me. What you think about that? Maybe he did something in the street and they was like, you know, setting it up to where, boom, yo, we're going to do something to him and then drop him off somewhere. Either way, man, this is fucked up for a kid to be in this position, but you never know how people are in the street and the influences on them. Now, they ain't got nobody in custody, but that is like a lot of red flags to me. First, the way they said he was found with the mask on and the gloves. Two, he running around here with people that are out of school and he's only a sophomore going into 10th grade. What kind of people are they to be having a kid around them like that? That's two. And three is you don't care that he had on, like, just to be dismissive about that, the glove, and it don't matter. People ain't got regards. I mean, come on. People are searching for answers. I think the answers was in the cemetery with that young man. And he can't talk. Dead men don't tell no tales. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, almost every day you can pull up where a kid then killed somebody or got killed. This is just how the subculture is out here right now. And it's crazy. It's upsetting. And I mean, think about it. This guy left with a friend, but was found dead by himself. And a friend, 22 years old, is saying, I dropped him off. And what if he's telling the truth? What if he's telling the truth? Maybe he clicked up with some other people. Hey, drop us off here. And it, boom. This whole thing is messed up. 11:30 at night, you 15 years old, and you out in the street. It makes no sense. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what you think, man. And like I said, my heart goes out to these folks. But it's just a lot of factors that build up to make this thing look like it looks. And it's just fucked up. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.